What a weekend for the Chicago Cubs offense. And yes, the Chicago Cubs bullpen, they responded to today's devastating injury news with a commanding two wins over the Los Angeles Dodgers, the World Series champs. We'll talk about where the Cubs go from here organizationally, and stay tuned. We have a surprise for all of our diehards and listeners, and give you a hint. It involves all of us going up and paying some bills together. Hey, Chicago, what do you say? It's the CHGO Cubs Podcast, driven by Toyota. Let's go places and bet 365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary. Use the code CHGO365 and sign up. Chicago Cubs, what a series win for them in Los Angeles this weekend. They take 2 out of 3 against the world champs in commanding fashion. Obviously, yesterday's blowout. But I thought today's win was even more impressive against Tyler Glasnow. What's going on, everybody? Kevin Wells sitting in here for Luke Stuckmeyer this evening. He's going to hop on just a couple of minutes, sitting with Cody Delmendo. Sean Anderson producing the show tonight. Cody, floor is yours, man. What a series, huh?
Dude, let's go. Let's go. Dude, that was as fun as giving the Dodgers the worst loss in 60 years and a home shutout last night. Winning a game like this feels so good. To not only win the series, but also the bullpen didn't blow it like we all felt like it was going to. PCA, 2 homers. Michael Busch hits a homer after I keep seeing Cubs Twitter tweeting Matt Mervis homers. Let's go, man. That's a hell of a series win against a team that you felt like you couldn't beat after what happened in Japan and what happened on Friday night. To win the next 2 after what happened Friday, I'm fired up. Delulu hours are here for the next... at least until the sun comes up.
It's only going to get harder for the Cubs, but I mean, certainly taking 2 out of 3 against a great team is just so impressive. Got a lot of guys in the chat. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Sean, Niren, James, love seeing all you guys back out for a series win here on Sunday Night Baseball. Always nice to do it in front of a national crowd, too. On ESPN, seems the Cubs haven't had as much luck in those games over the last couple of years, but really pulled one out today. Can I tell you the secret sauce to beating the Dodgers? We'll talk about how great the bullpen was, by the way. 1 earned run in 3 games against a great offense. But the secret sauce to beating the Los Angeles Dodgers, now keep this between us, only let Shohei Ohtani on base 1 time all series.
Yeah.
One time Shohei Ohtani reaches base in 3 games. That's incredible from the Cubs pitching staff. Shout out to Tommy Hotovy, Craig Counsell, the usage, the deployment. Those guys stuck to that game plan and flat out just kept him off the base paths. He was a non-factor all series. That's why you come out on top in especially 2-run games like tonight. Really well done.
The books loved Shohei Ohtani tonight against Colin Rea. He had 2 home runs coming into tonight against Colin Rea in his career. And Colin Rea struck him out first at bat. I think he caught Ohtani guessing because he threw a fastball down the middle, I'm pretty sure, and got him looking. I don't remember. I think he grounded out to first or second base his next at bat against Colin Rea. So, yeah, Colin Rea really stepped up tonight too. You know, the bullpen was basically a bullpen game. I didn't really know how many pitches Rea was going to pitch tonight. Ended up pitching like 68 or something.
Yeah, just
like
shy.
that.
I think it was 68, just shy of 70.
So I'm assuming 70 was probably the pitch count. And yeah, man, like they're going to need eventually. Rea is going to probably be once he's stretched out a little bit more, he'll probably be able to go deeper in the game. But coming in, I did not know what pitch count he would be on, and I just thought he pitched as well as he could have against this particular lineup. And we know that Colin Rea he's not a big strikeout guy. He's just found a way to eat innings for the Brewers last year, and he's done it in a very efficient way, and he did that tonight. And again, only 3 2/3 innings, but he kept the Cubs in the game, and he pitched well while doing it. And like you said, the Cubs pitching staff they didn't allow Ohtani to beat them this entire series. Even in the Friday game, Ohtani didn't really beat them.
Winning 2 out of 3 without Imanaga taking the mound too, I think that speaks to the level of depth that Jed Hoyer did build in the pitching department this year. I know the bullpen has started out rough. A lot of bullpens have issues. They're super fluid throughout the season. I think you saw the other side of it this weekend. I think we've seen the poor starts. We've seen the runs. We've seen the guys on base. We've seen far too many early walks, especially in late innings. But then these last 3 games, you kind of see the other side of it and why bullpens are so volatile. Mm-hmm. But to the Colin Rea point, I think that, his role is going to change, obviously. The news of the day, Justin Steele going on the injured list. He's going to be out for the season. We're going to talk about that, obviously, a lot this show. I don't know what Colin Rea's role will be. I don't know if he's going to be – I don't think he's penciled in as the automatic 5th starter. The Cubs have plenty of options for that role. But nonetheless, he gives you exactly what you needed tonight. If you wanted a couple more innings, sure, but Counsell chose to play the matchups, and Brad Keller's been awesome. He's in your circle of trust. I really liked the decision to go there. He had the matchup against Kike, struck him out. I think the other thing I really liked about the way Counsell managed this game and managed the series in general was the fact that it just seemed that bullpen guys kind of settled into their roles a little bit more. It felt like the couple games early on in the season, everyone was trying to figure out where I'm going, where my job. It feels like some of the dominoes started to fall in line this series. Maybe guys were getting more comfortable in the specific innings or leverage spots. But I mean, shout out to Merriweather was great tonight. I thought Ethan Roberts was fantastic tonight. He's really honed in on that sweeper. This was a complete team series win. We're going to talk about the bullpen. We'll talk about the starters. We'll talk about PCA homering. And I think that's really great because we're not even going to talk about, we'll talk about, but we're not even mentioning the fact that Kyle Tucker has continued his on-base streak. I think it's up to 18 games now?
Something like that, yeah.
And he wasn't even the biggest part of this series.
No.
And that's the coolest part about the way the Cubs approach this Dodger series, and the greatest part about the fact that their lineup is really, really performing at a time where it needs to. I mean, the opponents you're facing are ferocious, and you attacked it head on, scored a ton of runs this series. There's really not a lot of bad things to say.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, there's so much to talk about, but I kind of just want to go straight to the how this series kind of shapes this team at this point. They're 11-7.
11-7.
11-7. You've played one of the toughest schedules in baseball, if not the toughest, to start the year. Hell, even the ESPN broadcast said it themselves that they're playing in a gauntlet schedule, and you're 11-7. You just beat the Dodgers 2 out of 3. You've won 4 straight consecutive series. Your number 1 starter or number 2 starter, however you want to take it, just hit the injured list. Carson Kelly gets, he got hit by a pitch tonight. He had to come out of the game. Seiya Suzuki now has a wrist injury and is quote-unquote day-to-day. I can't emphasize enough just how big of a series win this is for this team, man, with how the vibes have been this week in terms of the news that's come out, whether it's Steele's injury, like you said, or, some of these other nagging injuries that have come up the last 24 hours. Like, this is a huge team confidence builder, I think. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe I'm just being real delusional right now. But it's a very, very, very exciting series win. And, I think after maybe in some aspects, this Dodgers team, like the way the Dodgers had beat the Cubs the first 3 times, if you count Japan and then Friday, like it just felt like no matter what you did, they were going to win the game. Because whether it's Andy Pages catching that ball for the rob a grand slam from Michael Busch last night, or just some other hard hit balls that were hit right in the gloves, there's many times in they've played 5 games now where it just feels like no matter what, this Dodgers team is just going to figure out how to beat you because they're just so talented and they're so deep and they have so much depth. And for the Cubs to just win these next 2 after losing on Friday when you didn't score any runs and your offense looked absolutely terrible, it gives me a lot of hope and optimism. And, I'm just having fun with this team right now, man. And we haven't had a chance to have fun with this team in a while. So I'm just kind of riding the wave right now. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, the Cubs beat the Dodgers tonight 4-2. They take 2 out of 3 in the series. They hand the Dodgers their first 2 home losses of the season. Dodgers have been an unbelievable home team over the last couple of years. This was an impressive series, and I think you have every right to feel the way that you do in terms of optimism, because the Dodgers are a demoralizing team to face, because no matter what you do, it just seems like there's another guy. You told me, we were talking about, I was like, hey, who's up? He goes, does it matter? There's just another guy in that lineup. And you're right. I mean, they are built like a super team, and they are a super team. But I want to put this out there. The Cubs, with the difficulty of schedule that they've had, and being above 500 is impressive on its own, but the offense is humming right now. They lead the league in hits. They lead the league in walks. They lead the league in steals. They're top 5 in home runs. They have the second best team OPS in all of baseball. Right now, 18 games in against 18 good 18 teams, you know what I mean? Yeah. 18 teams, 18 good games that you're playing against teams that are pretty good. You can put the A's kind of in the other category for now, but this is a really impressive start offensively for the Cubs, and pitching-wise, I liked the way Matthew Boyd pitched. I really liked the way Ben Brown pitched yesterday. That gave me a lot of optimism. And today you just did everything you needed to do, and you had some of the unsung heroes go deep. You didn't have your big power hitters come through. You didn't really need them to, and I think that's what you need in these games, because that's what the Dodgers do to everybody every night. If it's not Ohtani, it's Freeman. If it's not Freeman, it's Betts. If it's not Betts, it's it's Max Muncy. They stack good performances, and I think that the Cubs kind of replicated that this weekend.
Yeah. Shane in the chat is saying that Carson Kelly's wrist X-ray is negative, so no break on Kelly's wrist.
Yeah, nice. Carson Kelly, another great series for him too. Dude. A couple home runs. I mean, the Cubs are playing long ball, and the bullpen really came through this weekend.
PCA, we know that he was struggling this week. He struggled against the Rangers at Wrigley. Didn't even really hit that well at Wrigley at all against the Padres or the Rangers. Was struggling coming into the series. Didn't look great on Friday. Didn't look great to start Saturday against Roki. But in the middle of that Saturday game, PCA connected on something against the Dodgers bullpen, I want to say, where he took the ball to left center, and he hit it really hard. It was caught, and to be honest with you, I saw it, was just like, I'm just glad he didn't hit the ball on the ground to the right side, because that's what he's been doing during the slump. And I was just thinking in my mind, and this is before the big blowout happened, and when everything fell apart for the Dodgers on Saturday, PCA ended up getting like 2 hits, like whenever the Dodgers put in the position player and all of that, right?
Yeah, Rojas.
Rojas. But before that happened, before that transpired, when the game was still within reach for the Dodgers, PCA hit one to, I want to say left center on a line in the air, but it was caught. But I was just glad to see him put the ball on a line in the air. And I remember when he was rounding first and Marquis was getting ready to go to break because it was caught, I want to say I saw the Cubs hitting coach and then another coach like in the dugout, like in the background, just kind of applauding him, like telling him, like, that's right. Like, that's what you need to do. Like, that's like they were encouraging him, because even though it was an out, he still did something that they were trying to do. Hit the ball hard on a line in the air. And so I felt like coming into this game tonight, I was intrigued to see how he was going to, take that next step. I didn't expect 2 homers, but,
And the second one was a total moonshot.
Yeah, off Trinan too.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So he's just my favorite roller coaster to ride, man. He's so fun. So he had
a great series. He had a great series, and I think that kudos to Craig Counsell for keeping him in the lineup after he struggled over the last couple of days and saying, hey, you hit the ball hard. I think they're probably going to point to that line out and say, hey, it's right there.
Yeah.
Keep swinging.
Yeah,
they're right on the horizon.
He's just a young player, and those guys just need at bats, and it's going to take time, like we said. So I know there will be more dips, but you know, at the end of the day, like, you just need to see that stuff. So
Why don't you tell us about our pals over at Sunnyside, huh?
yeah, we got a big surprise coming up, but let me first tell you about Sunnyside, okay? Sunnyside Cannabis Dispensary is your home for judgment-free cannabis shopping, a place where all kinds of visitors are welcome to explore, discover, and purchase a wide array of high-quality products. Sunnyside has everything you need to elevate your summer. Some of the amazing features that they have is the fact that they have a one-stop shop for all your cannabis needs. Sunnyside has an expertly created menu with over 100 strains to choose from, plus easy online ordering and in-store pickup. Sunnyside is Illinois' favorite dispensary with locations in the city, in Wrigleyville, and in River North. And then you can go out to the suburbs, or you can go as far south as Champaign, as far north as South Beloit, and other locations. So if you're starting out, Sunnyside has expert guidance and brands that they know you'll love, like Good News and Mindy's. If you're a pro, they got you covered with over 100 strains on the menu, like I said, and new ones added daily. They know that you'll love Cresco and Florical's incredible quality and consistent products as well. So visit sunnyside.shop for bright buys every day, including 50% off your first 3 online purchases. Enter promo code HICHGO at checkout to qualify. Exclusions apply. Sunnyside Cannabis Dispensary, bright buys every day, only 21 plus or Illinois medical card holders.
Just like your favorite teams need a home court advantage, your home needs a home floor advantage. Empire Today can help you get it. Empire Today has flooring experts, dedicated flooring professionals who focus on flooring every single day. Sure, you can go to a big box store, but you might be talking to somebody who was working in plumbing yesterday and selling sod the day before that. Empire Today lives and breathes flooring, and they will be with you every step of the way. Their flooring experts bring the showroom right to your house. You can get the precise measurements taken, get all the questions answered, so there's no surprises. With Empire Today, you get clear, upfront, and all-inclusive pricing. Plus, you can subscribe to installation as soon as the next day. Schedule a free in-home estimate today, because some things are just better at home. CHGO listeners, listen to this. $350 off when you use the promo code CHGO with Empire Today. Yes, you heard that right. A $350 discount with the code CHGO. Restrictions apply. Visit EmpireToday.com/CHGO for full details. Lots of people in the chat. We got, is that 82 favorites? Let's get us to 100. Got almost 300.
We have nearly 200 more viewers than people who are watching the current video. This is a new channel. You'd be doing us a huge favor by hitting that thumbs up button. If you're one of the 200 that haven't, hit that like button for the 4th straight series win.
Let's go, dude.
And it's good to talk to all of you. If you don't recognize me, I'm Kevin. I'm in for Luke tonight. You'll see me on Sundays. I produce on Wednesdays. Good to be back with the CHGO guys. Luke is going to join us, so stay tuned. He's going to come in just a couple of minutes. I saw him in the comment section saying he's going to buy a bigger spray bottle for you for the what is it called again?
The reality spray.
Reality spray. Yeah.
No, I would have been spraying Luke tonight, because I would have been telling him to stop being so pessimistic after winning a series against the Dodgers.
Yeah, this was a great. I don't know how you could be pessimistic after this one. I mean, this was a.
And I'm not saying Luke would have, but there's no need for reality spray tonight. We should all be high on life after this one.
Honestly, just to jump in, I brought up the topic that they're talking about in the chat that, should a council have batted Justin Turner third in the line? Who cares?
Yeah,
you just beat the Dodgers in LA. You have 4 straight series wins. And as you guys talked about, this is all West Coast play. This is traveling to Japan. Yeah. They haven't stayed in Chicago for a long time and played the NL Central, a division they should absolutely dominate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's you obviously you're going to San Diego next. It doesn't get any easier, but I've appreciated a lot the commitment to just saying, oh, another game. Today, like you said, the roller coaster of emotions, losing your ace in Justin Steele, losing a guy who has been the heart and soul of that pitching staff for the last 5 years, losing him for the rest of the season. And obviously they're going to miss him, and obviously you're going to need to find a 3 to 4 win pitcher to make up for that.
Yeah.
But tonight shows you that Jed Hoyer did a good job finding pitchers on the margins. I know people hate that phrase, on the margins, but you need to have starting pitching depth to win in Major League Baseball, and the Cubs have a lot of it, and they will have options to replace Steele's productivity this year. Let's get to this.
I was going to say, let's do the beer bat, and then we should go ahead and reveal the surprise, and then we can talk about.
I haven't been on set since you've done one of these in a long time. I'm pretty excited for this. And I'm going to go
because you were here last time you were here was on Sunday, and those are the 2 worst losses of the year have been on Sundays.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go 8.5 seconds. I think that's going down real quick.
Okay.
8.5.
We'll do the beer bat, and then we have something big we need to tell you all about.
Chat believes in you. A lot of sub 10 numbers. So this needs to be sub 10.
Also, okay, so dedication. I'm going to give this one. There's so many guys that you could give it to. I'm going to give it to Ethan Roberts, though, because he has entered the circle of trust in the Cubs bullpen. He is not the reason they won this series. He's not the reason that but I am enjoying watching Ethan Roberts pitch. And the bullpen is a big deal with the Cubs right now in terms of problems. Sean, don't look at me weird.
PCA had 3 extra base hits.
PCA had 2 homers, but if Ethan Roberts blows that lead when the score was where it was, I don't know if they win the game.
I was going to say, you almost took away what you said. He wasn't the reason they won the series. I disagree. I think Ethan Roberts was a big reason they won the series today.
Sure.
He came in a huge spot and shut down the Dodgers.
Right. And I feel like middle relief has been the biggest issue with this team. The Thielbar, he's far off the graphic right now.
Sean overruled. I like it.
But,
PCA can have another one.
I got another beer bat to do later.
Yeah,
maybe
PCA will get the second one.
We're doing a 2 beer batch post-game tonight, by the way. So we had to choose someone other than PCA for one of them, all right? So this was my big brain one, all right?
But again, lead off with the guy who hit 2 home runs. Don't go with the weird one of Ethan Roberts.
We're saving the best for last, baby.
PCA is the headline and thumbnail.
Are you trying to tell Cody how to cub?
Yes.
He is trying to tell me how to cub.
I'm producing.
All right, here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
All right.
Do it up. Oh, that's a big start. No spillage yet either. Cody, almost done. One last sip. It is down. Sean with a 7.78.
I think, honestly, it's probably closer to 8.5, but I think you're still under 9.
Yeah, it kind of got a little swishy.
Quality Chuck.
Are we under 9 seconds, though?
I think it was under 9.
Okay.
That was a quick one. You're feeling it after the Cubs win.
Well, I've also had a lot of practice because the Cubs have been winning games, too. So, anyway.
There's a lot of did we have any winners in the chat? Anybody guess an 8.5, Sean? Seeing, I think Emma, our social media person, I think she had a 9.2. Dustin's wife said
8.2.
All right.
Let's go Dustin's wife.
Nice job, Cody. Yeah, Cubs win 4-2, but it came at the news of the day, obviously. We all follow this team closely. Cubs lose Justin Steele for the rest of the season. Devastating blow. It's about as hard and about as devastating of an injury that this team could face. Mm-hmm. Yes, they have Shota. Yes, they have Kyle Tucker. I understand all of that. I also understand that Justin Steele is probably the guy I still would have had pitching, game 1 or 2 of a playoff series. Definitely game 1 or 2, probably game 1. It's not a death blow. Mm-hmm. The Cubs have organizational depth when it comes to pitching. Yes, I see the comments about Cade Horton. Yes, we just talked about Colin Rea. Yes, Javier Assad is probably a week or so away from returning, maybe even sooner. They have plenty of options. Yes, they're $30 million below the first luxury tax. Yes, they have a deep farm system in which they can go out and make trades. I don't know what they're going to do, but I want to focus first on Justin Steele and how much this just really sucks for him. And I feel really bad for him. He's got 2 more years of arbitration. Thank God he's making $6.5 million this year. Mm-hmm. But this is the reason why I will always be in the pitchers' camps of trying to get long-term deals when they can, because Justin Steele now going to miss a full year. It's going to come, maybe, hopefully doesn't hinder him from getting that deal that he wants when he hits free agency, if he hits free agency, unless the Cubs extend him. But this, nonetheless, is just another reason why you have to be in the corner of athletes when they say, hey, I'm looking for protections here. Justin Steele's been on top of his game for 3 years, and he's on a very club-friendly deal right now.
Yeah, and it's, as happy as I am about winning the series, when you think about things long-term, it does bring you back down to reality. So, Luke, if you're watching, you don't need to spray me because, at the end of the day, losing your best or second-best starter can affect the team long-term. And listen, you want me to I've had some time to spin it. The good news for Cubs fans is that, Ben Brown pitched the way he did last night.
Looked great.
And we all have high hopes for him. And then, Cade Horton is still your top pitching prospect.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're going to see him this year as long as he stays healthy. But the bad news is that we haven't seen enough from either one of those guys to where I feel like they're going to just automatically step into the rotation and be that consistent, like, stud in your rotation. And that to me, that's the biggest loss for the Cubs. Like, the last 3 years, Justin Steele was every fifth day, he'd go out there and he'd give you a chance to win. On days that he didn't have it, he'd find a way to still give you 6. Watching him grow from the moment he got to the majors and coming out of the bullpen for the Cubs and leading to him becoming a starter, and then watching him go through the struggles as a starter to then take a leap and become an all-star as a starter.
One of the league's best starters.
And be in the Cy Young race.
Yeah.
To this point now, it's like, I truly feel so bad for the guy. And especially because he's had arm injuries throughout especially during his minor league career. Mm-hmm. And we've talked about it at ends on the show, he's a guy that's had arm injuries each of the last handful of years, despite being awesome. And so, we're just talking about how much it sucks for him. I can only imagine what he's feeling because, I'm sure he was trying to come out here this year to maybe earn a contract extension himself. And even though you said 2 years of arbitration, I considering his age and everything, this was a big year for him. If he was considering wanting to try and get a contract extension now with the Cubs, and I don't think that's going to happen now that this injury has happened. And for him individually, that sucks, and I feel for him. And just the fact that he gave you everything he had in you every fifth day.
He was the Maserati on some of the worst Cubs teams we've ever seen in our fandoms.
Yeah.
2021, 2022 were miserable years.
Mm-hmm.
2023 wasn't much better.
Yeah.
And Justin Steele was the rock of the rotation and the rock of the team.
Mm-hmm.
And so for fans in general, not watching him pitch all season, I mean, that alone sucks. But for the player itself, we sit here and you feel for the guy because there are life situations to this. I mean, he's going to spend a year out. ESPN did report, and The Athletic also had this. It's going to be elbow surgery of some sort for Steele. It's going to be on his UCL. So it's either going to be Tommy John surgery or it's going to be a brace put in. I don't know if they have a name for that specific type of surgery, but it's going to be one of the two that was recorded or reported on the broadcast tonight. Justin Steele gave you 91 starts, 517 strikeouts, and he just reached 500 innings of service time with the Cubs.
Mm-hmm.
And this was the best Cubs team and the best opportunity he had of making his first career postseason start. And I think that's where it hits me the hardest, is he had to endure all of this just really bad baseball for years. Mm-hmm. To get to this point now only to be shut down for the rest of the season. So, Justin, we're thinking about you, man. That really does, from a human level to that part of it and the competitor level, that it sucks. It really does.
Absolutely.
We're coming up to a break, but the brace surgery, also known as an internal brace, is a procedure that uses a collagen-coated tape to repair and reinforce the UCL of the elbow. So it's an alternative to Tommy John, but he's still going to be out for the season, whether it's a brace or traditional Tommy John.
Yeah, and I wonder if we'll probably get more details on that and see if any other pitchers have had that type of surgery. I'm sure there have been plenty. We do know that there's been plenty of UCL surgeries over the last couple of years here. They've made significant progress in that, and a lot of pitchers have come back and been pretty darn strong. So we're thinking about Steele. Obviously, hope that happens. But this is it's not a death blow to the Cubs, but it's certainly one that they are going to have to respond from, and they are going to have to try to find a way to replace 3 to 4 wins. 3 to 4 WAR value. That's not going to be easy.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. if we're sitting here at the end of September going to October and Ben Brown or Cade Horton have given you 3 wins above replacement, that's a hell of a organizational development. And for basically a rookie and a guy who, he was a rookie last year, but like has, pitched for 2 months for you last year. If one of those guys end up being a 3-win player, it would be a massive win for the organization. But it'll be interesting to see how the Cubs go about this. I think they can tread water for a while, but we all know, and the chat knows too, because they've been debating and talking about names and throwing names out there. Like, the Cubs are going to have to make a move.
There's a couple names I'll bring up to you here after this ad break that I think might be on their radar. Let's talk about our partners over at Rea, Chevy, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. First, shop savings to celebrate the Jeep Celebration event right now at Rea, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Now's your chance to score a great deal on your next vehicle. Head to Ray's CDJR on Route 12 today to choose from a huge inventory. New Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram vehicles as of right now. Get up to $12,000 off MSRP on select new 2024 Jeep Wrangler models with a dealer discount, or you can lease the 2025 Jeep Wrangler Sport 4 by E for only $129 a month. Plus, shop over 125 vehicles priced under $20,000 with a friendly team of brand experts. The team at Rea, Chevy, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram is here to help you during each step of your car journey. Plus, they prioritize affordability, so you're not going to overpay for the car that you need. And with Ray's Price Promise, you can confidently get no add-ons or hidden fees in your purchase ever. The price you see is the price you pay. It's really that simple. Go check out your partner today to shop one of Chicago area's largest inventories. Find the right vehicle for you, and then drive home happy. The team at Rea CDJR is the one we recommend. Don't miss out on the Jeep Celebration event. It's going on all month long. Huge savings on your next Jeep Wrangler. And obviously, for more information, just head to their website, Rea CDJR today, or you go on to Route 12. Go visit the location in Fox Lake. They've been serving the community since 1963.
Game Time makes getting tickets even faster and easier. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer it gets to first pitch, kickoff, tip-off, or any event that you're going to, all right? With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. The Cubs come back to beautiful, historic Wrigley Field next week. We have Friday 120 Club next Friday. I don't remember who they play. I want to say it's the Marlins for whatever reason. But they had the Padres first. But, if you're coming to Friday 120 Club, come hang out with us at Murphy's. And then while we're all hanging out at Murphy's.
It's the Phillies, isn't it?
I thought the Phillies was the week after.
That's the week after.
Either way, they have a home game next Friday.
It's the Diamondbacks.
It's the Diamondbacks. Third time's a charm. Thank you, Sean.
Are you sure it's the Diamondbacks?
Yes, I Googled it.
So anyway, the Diamondbacks come to beautiful, historic Wrigley Field next Friday. And, if you come to Friday 120 Club, hang out with us at Murphy's. We can all pay attention to the Game Time app before you buy your bleacher seat. And when you wait, the beauty of Game Time is when you wait. If you wait up until first pitch or an hour before, whatever you want to do, you're going to get the best value, all right? And that is why when I get off at the red line, that's when I bring Game Time app, the Game Time app up, all right? They have zone deals where you save even more when you choose a section and let Game Time choose the seats. They have all-in pricing. You toggle that feature, shows the total up front with no surprise fees at checkout. No one likes a bait and switch, Kevin. I don't. I'm sure you don't either.
It.
All right? And as we know at Wrigley, they have polls, so you can get a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy, so you can avoid the polls, all right? They have the lowest price guarantee, or Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. They have Game Time ticket coverage as well, where your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. All right, so take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHGO for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem with code CHGO for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed.
Game Time's not paying me to say this, by the way. It really is the best ticketing app, like bar none. Easiest to use and by far the cheapest all the time. I love Game Time. Legitimately use it all the time.
Just want to jump in real quick because we talked about internal brace before we bring in Luke Stuckmeyer. Some pitchers that have had the internal brace surgery, Spencer Strider, and Lucas Giolito recently. They haven't returned to the major leagues.
Did Strider have it
yet.
last year?
Yes, that was his actual
All right.
Tommy. He didn't have Tommy John. He had the internal brace put in. He's just about to make his first major league start since rehabbing that injury. Nick Anderson, Zach Britton, Rich Hill, Matt Busch, and Seth Manias are also names, along with Shohei Ohtani and Drew Rasmussen. So it's a newer surgery that's been started around 17 or 18, and there isn't a ton of data on if it's effective or not. So at least looking at it, I'd say go with regular Tommy John.
Interesting.
Also, I'm a doctor.
No, thanks for that information. That is helpful because Tommy John has been successful among some of these harder throwing pitchers, and they've made strides in that field. I mean, some of these, I'm not saying that this is a good or a bad thing, but we're seeing high school pitchers have it prematurely before they hit the prime of their careers now.
Yeah.
I'm not saying ethically if that's okay. I'm not taking a side on that either way. I'm just saying they've made plenty of strides in that field. So if Steele does choose to go that route, it's been proven to be more effective now than it was, 15, 20 years ago. Luke Stuckmeyer's here. What's up, Luke? Good to see you.
Let me tell you. So I apologize for not being here on time. I ran to Home Depot to see if I could get a power washer for Cody because I know he's going to need it. And then I came home and I soaked in Cubby Kool-Aid. I just took a nice jacuzzi bath and some Cubby Kool-Aid, and I'm feeling good after 2 out of 3, 4 straight series wins. I got all the blue off my skin. I dried it off, and I'm fresh and ready to go now.
It's shining.
Should we, with that said, Luke, should we talk about the big event before we dive into the rest of the game?
You mean the secret event?
The secret event that we've been teasing.
The secret event. This is
event.
You guys are going to have a lot of fun here. Have you ever been to Potawatomi Hotel Casino in Milwaukee?
No.
It is one of the nicest casinos you will go to, and it's right next to the ballpark where you guys are going to take a bunch of fans and go watch the Cubs hopefully pay the bills and beat the Milwaukee Brewers on May 3rd. That's coming up. It's like 2 weeks away.
Yeah, I know. And so what it all includes is we're doing a live show, and then there's a buffet
From the
lunch.
casino.
Yeah, at the casino. Yeah, we're doing the live show at the casino. You get $100 in casino play there, so maybe come win some money, watch me lose money because that's inevitable. And the pregame party, we'll go to the game. Drink tickets, all this stuff. It's all at ALLCITY.com. And yeah, it's kind of similar to what we did in Milwaukee last year, except we're not taking a bus. We're just going to meet everyone there. And you got to come hang out with us for the live show. And if this team continues to play well, man, this is going to be a fun time, man.
This looks awesome. $100 in casino play with your ticket?
Yeah.
You could have a lot of fun with that. You could they have a sports book in Pato now. That just opened up.
Really?
So that opened up, I believe, a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. So go in there, and like I told you to do a week ago, go put $50 or more on Kyle Tucker to win NL MVP. I'm telling you, the odds are really good right now, and they're only going to keep dropping. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. This looks cool.
He's never going to want to come home. He's never going to want to come home. We're going to have a big win against the Brewers. We'll still be in first place. And what I'm told is the tickets that we're getting for this, you're not going to need to ride the escalator. So that's key.
No,
We've already decided that for Braggs. Nobody's got to ride the escalator this time.
Braggs will not need the escalators. I believe
seats in the 100s.
Unconfirmed, but I believe we're in the 200s.
200s. Okay.
Yeah, I believe we're in the 200s, but unconfirmed. Don't let the facts get in the way.
You could upgrade and stay at the casino as well, too, right?
Yes.
A couple add-ons you can throw in there.
On the website at allchgo.com, you just go to events and you scroll down, and it'll be right there. And if you're logged in, if you're a diehard, obviously you get a discount. But there's the certain ticket you can buy, basically just kind of the add-ons. So. Definitely something to check out, man.
You're telling me you can do all of this for $50 and then you get $100 in casino play, and then you can also get the Cubs ticket for an extra $75? Wow, that's like on a Friday. And also,
walleye season is open by then. Walleye season is open by then.
Holy cow. This is a heck of a deal.
On Saturday, May 3rd, so it's a weekend as well. This is We had a lot of fun last year with the tailgate and everything, but this is going to be even better than last year. So you got to come check it out with us. Come hang out with me and Luke. And, we'll do some beer bats together after a Cubs win.
The link is in the YouTube description and podcast description.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Sean. Yeah, check this out. This would be great. May 3rd in Milwaukee. This is cool. I'm gonna. Yeah, I had plans to golf. Yeah, I had plans to golf on May 3rd.
You just canceled.
I think I'm canceling. I'm serious. I think I'm gonna join you guys with this. This looks awesome.
Let's go. All right.
So, are you golfing or are you a sicko? Let's go. Show us what you got.
If you're a sicko, we'll see you there. Okay.
Yeah,
Luke, what'd you take?
Bottle, no question about it.
You might need.
I'm going to bring a spray bottle just for you, Luke.
might need the garden hose. Luke, what'd you think of this series? Obviously, it doesn't seem like anybody had a bad series. It seemed like the offense is still humming along, and the bullpen was really impressive. This was the best 3-game stretch the bullpen's had all season. I know it's early, but what did you see from the Cubs, and are you kind of starting to feel some stuff about this team?
Well, here's what I like. We caught the Dodgers at the right time. They're playing bad baseball right now. But more importantly, this team continues to show us that they've got fight. They bounce back from stuff all the time. They bounced back after the bad loss to the Diamondbacks with a big win. They bounced back with the bad loss the next Sunday after that. They bounce back now after a losing game 1 of this series, right? And then they give them not just a loss, a biblical loss, in the words of the Cubs, an historic loss to the Dodgers on their home turf, okay? And then you get the Justin Steele news. And I said to Cody via text yesterday before the game was starting, I said, man, if he's going for second opinions, Ben Brown needs to step up right here, right now. And what did Ben Brown do? He came out and shoved. He came down and shoved it down the Dodgers' throats. And then other guys stepped up. And Michael Busch steps up against his old team. And then you see PCA, the California kid, do it. All of this news after the Steele stuff comes out and could have just deflated the team completely today. Mm-hmm. Could have just completely deflated it. They likely knew that news sometime late yesterday. They might have known it right before the game and just didn't say anything yesterday before they went out and won 16-0. This team's got fight. You know, I don't want to bring up Hawk Harrelson on a Cubs podcast, but this is TWTW, baby. This is the will to win. That's what I see. That's what I see on this Cubs team. They have great spark when they could get knocked down. That's a great sign early in the season. It's a brutal loss, Steele. It's a brutal loss. But now it's time for guys to step up. It's time for Ben Brown to be a full-time starter and show that he can be that guy that he was 7 no-hit innings last year, or just like he was last night. It's time for Assad to come back and show he's still effective. It's time for Cade Horton when the time is ready. I know it seems like, Cody, does this seem crazy? Last year when Steele got hurt in the first game, even though we knew it wasn't a torn ACL, man, it felt like a death wish.
Yeah,
it was right. It was just like, that's it. Season's over. Why are we even doing the shows? You knew it was trouble. Yeah. I don't feel that way this year. Not that Justin Steele is any less important to this team, but I don't feel like it's a death march to the finish. They're still the best team in the division, and they've got flexibility. Listen, we made fun of the flexibility and them not spending the money. Now I'm glad they didn't spend the money, because now they have the flexibility to go out and fix this and go ahead and do it.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that you're crazy just because they do have options. And I expect Colin Rea to be able to throw more pitches down the road. Now, I don't know what to really expect out of Colin Rea for a full start, but he did eat almost 170 innings for the Brewers last year, so he can give you quality innings. We've seen what Jordan Wicks can be when he's healthy. He pitched 3 scoreless innings in Iowa today, by the way. And then Cade Horton is just consistently touching 97, 98 in Iowa as well. The thing with Cade Horton is just, when he does get up here, man, we all know how it goes with young players. Like, you just don't know what to expect. He could just take off and just really find himself in the Rookie of the Year chase, or, it could be a lot like some of the other young pitchers the Cubs have had come up, like Caleb Killian or something. And that's, maybe that's a bad example, but the point is that you just don't know. So yeah, like the good news, like I said in the second segment, is, you have options, and then you have the farm depth to be able to go get a guy. And they were going to have to go get a guy anyway, whether Steele was healthy or not. The only difference now is that with Steele out, it's almost like whoever you're trading for is basically just replacing him. But if one of your young pitchers emerges, if Ben Brown builds off this last start and becomes a guy that you feel like Ben Brown Day is a fun day, is a day that you look forward to, if that becomes a thing, and you add whoever you add, whether let's just use Sandy Alcantara as the example, then it's like, okay, we're working, we're doing something really good here,
Right.
and something that can not necessarily be better without Justin Steele, but it's something that I feel like you said, Luke, it's not the worst case scenario. But the only thing about losing Steele is that you're losing certainty. You know what I mean? Like the reason this team has been playing so well is because the guys, the core of this team has been playing well. Despite the fact that Ian Happ is hitting below 200 right now, he's still finding ways to get on base. Dansby Swanson's hitting more line drives, hitting the ball in the air more than he did at all at the beginning of last year. And on top of it, giving you great defense. Nico Horner looks like he's healthy, right? You're all the guys that are the core piece of this team, they're all doing their job for the most part. Do they have good days? Do they have bad days? Yes, it's a 162-game season. But when you look at the pitching side, there's a lot more, well, if he does this or if that happens, I feel like there's not as much certainty in the pitching side without Justin Steele. And that was the one thing that Justin Steele brought you, was quality start after quality start, keep you in games, give you a chance to win. And so, yeah, that's my biggest fear. Yeah. But do they have guys who could absolutely come in here and emerge and just kind of not necessarily steal the spot, but be a replacement that has a high ceiling? Yeah, they absolutely do.
I can't even remember the last time Justin Steele got pulled in the first inning of an outing or second inning of an outing. And I think you said it. Certainty. You lose certainty, replace it with certainty. You have $30 million to work with. I'm not saying that they're going to go do it right now. I think that the price tag's only going to go up as the competition goes up as you go through the year. And it does not have to be Sandy Alcantara. Could it be? Sure. He's on a really good contract through the prime of his career. You'd have him under club control for another 5 or 6 seasons with the extension that he signed. That's going to cost you 3 of your top 100 prospects, probably 2 to 3 of them. How about Jorge Lopez from Minnesota? Really good in the playoffs last year in the start that he made. He's got 3 playoff starts. He's pitched in 32 He's made 32 starts in each of the last 3 seasons. He's durable. He's fine. He's certain. He's not an all-star all the time. He was an all-star, I believe, in 2022 or 3?
23.
But there's plenty of options. How about give the Tampa Bay Rays a call? They're sitting in a really difficult division in which they love to move on from veteran pitchers for young guys. You've made plenty of trades with them over the last couple of seasons. Pick up the phone and talk to the Mariners. And I have no doubt that Jed is going to do this. I have no doubt. I know that he is going to pick up the phone, start making some calls. I don't think it's time for Cade Horton yet. I think they're going to keep him down there. There's a couple other buttons they press first, but will Cade Horton be here? Absolutely. But he's not a certain thing yet. And with this roster performing the way that it is in the division that it is, you need to replace certainty with certainty.
Real quick, you said former Cub legend Jorge Lopez, not current twin
Pablo Lopez. My fault. Why did I say Jorge Lopez?
Because he's Cubs legend, Jorge Lopez.
Cubs legend.
Right. You know what? It's not.
That's a slip of the tongue. Luke, do you want your seat back? I should go.
No. The question this is a matter of when and how the Cubs replace Justin Steele this year, and for part of next season too. Like, when is the best time to do it? How is the best way to do it? So it's when do you make that trade? Do you have the most value in your prospects now? Or do you want to play this out? Tread water a little bit, see what Wicks might do. Maybe Wicks or Horton or Ben Brown or Assad or somebody elevates themselves to where you feel like you don't have to be as aggressive in that trade market. That's one possibility.
Mm-hmm.
The other one is to just go do it. It's all these rumors about that we've had out there this weekend about other contracts. Okay. If you're going to go out and realistically, I don't know if I buy it or not, but the Tucker thing, if you're going to sign Tucker and you're going to throw the money at him, well, then you have some outfield guys that are now available via trade for this frontline starter because they're never going to see the light of day in Chicago. So you're not terrified to trade some of those guys. And if you got Tucker, some of the other guys that are bats in the farm system, you can also trade because you feel better about having Tucker for the next 10, 11 years or whatever it might be in right field. I don't know. All I know is it's got to happen eventually. I don't know when the right time is. I don't know who the right player is. But if you sign Tucker, a lot of those things can become a lot easier because you don't have to be totally dependent in your future on all of these prospects turning into stars because that's unlikely anyway. So figure it out, find the right deal, and make it. Don't screw this up. This is the biggest moment in Cubs history since they traded Chris Bryant.
Yep.
Right? When they traded all the 2016 guys, right now, we are in the biggest moment in Cubs history since then. Jed Hoyer's got big decisions to make. He's got to figure out how to fix this rotation with Steele out, and for how long does he need to fix it?
Right.
And I
that's
think
the big
signing
question.
Tucker is one of the easiest ways of doing it.
That's the big question, right? Steele misses all of this year, but if we're really thinking about it, how much of next year does he miss too? And he's
already had a Tommy John surgery. I don't want to
Right.
say that, but he's already had one.
Yeah. So
I would guess that he's out at least until May or June of next year.
Oh, I feel awful for him.
Yeah,
I
no,
do
it
too.
sucks.
It's
Sucks,
brutal,
dude.
man.
So, yeah, I mean, I think for right now, I'm okay with treading water. I don't want to sell the farm just because of this. Like, I don't want an overreactionary sell the farm like move. But I do think that they are in position to make an in-season trade earlier. And I didn't think it was going to be because Justin Steele got hurt and is out for the year, but I did say throughout the offseason, after they decided to save that $30 million from Cody Bellinger's contract, that, okay, you're $30 million under the luxury tax. You can make a move in season pretty early if you really want to. And now they are in position to where they can do that. So I'm intrigued to see where they go. There's a lot of teams out there that are, the Marlins, they moved on from Luis Arias in like May of last year, like early May, I'm pretty sure. And so like they're known to be a team that's like that will move quickly. And Sandy Alcantara, he will cost you a ton, but man, is he worth it in my eyes.
Yeah, remember when he threw 9 shutout innings at Wrigley 2 years ago? I was at that game, that complete game shutout from Sandy.
I remember. I was at that game too.
He was electric. I mean, he's a really good pitcher, and you'd have him in the prime of his career.
2 things. One, Gary says Steele won't be back till June at earliest. Spencer Strider, who we talked about getting the brace that Steele possibly is up for, his last start was April 5th of last year, and now he's going to be returning, I believe, on Wednesday.
So full year.
That was pretty much a year. Okay. So it's possible that he could be back in April. The other thing that I did want to mention, though, with Sandy Alcantara and maybe the Marlins being ready to move on from him earlier than other teams would, they're doing the reverse of Garrett Crochet last year, building him up as the year goes on. They're trying to see if they could just use him as less and less as possible to the trade deadline so his value stays as high as possible come the deadline or whenever a team comes knocking. So if the Cubs come proper, they could get Alcantara.
That's fair.
Yeah, and Cody, remember when we talked a lot in the offseason about we weren't knocking the pitching staff. We were just saying, listen, you're banking on a lot of guys that have some history of arm injuries, and arm injuries are at an all-time high in baseball. Yep. So that's why they had to stockpile arms then. So hopefully they're at least built for it. I loved what I saw out of Rea tonight. I don't want to discount him. I loved even more what I've seen out of Matthew Boyd the last 2 games and Ben Brown. So you got 3 guys now that have stepped up. But this isn't having a pitcher go down with an elbow injury is almost common to every team now during the season. Right? It's not rare anymore. So this is it. This is your moment, Cubs. Go ahead and fix it. And by the way, I don't know if I understand the whole PCA thing because I said, listen, I'd let the bat prove to me he can do it. Well, after tonight, I'm like, okay, yeah, that $75 million. What do you do? They should have offered him $100 million. Are they crazy?
Yeah, I mean, I've been in the camp of pay PCA as soon as possible. Obviously, we don't know they're talking. The two sides, they've tabled the negotiations. We'll see where that goes. But the Cubs, the reported offer was a deal worth up to $75 million. I want to see PCA here for a long time. I think he's worth more than that, and I think he thinks he's worth more than that too. Yeah,
when I saw Mark Feinsand send that tweet, yesterday, that, they talked about an extension worth $75 million. Two sides just couldn't come to a deal. I think he also quote tweeted that tweet later saying that $75 million would have capped. It would have capped if all the options were exercised. So yeah, I think that PCA is betting on himself, and I can't fault a player for doing that. So I'm cheering for him, and tonight certainly helped. You hit 2 home runs, one of them off Tyler Glasnow. Okay, he's a young player. He's got a lot to prove still, but once this guy figures out how to just even be a league average hitter, dude, I say it way too much, and people are probably tired of me saying it, man, but it's so true. If he just is a league average hitter to go with that defense, base running speed, the tools that he has, man, he's such a valuable player. So if I'm absolutely rooting for the Cubs and him to come to some form of a contract extension. If it's not next week, if it's not the week after, if it's later in the season, I'm absolutely here for it, because that's a guy, or because they didn't get this done with some of the younger guys, some of the other guys from the old core that won the World Series, and there were many reasons why they couldn't get that done. PCA is worth keeping around for a long time.
He's younger.
If he hits, he is worth keeping around for a long time, in my eyes.
Did you see the bat flip, Cody? You think a guy that does that bat flip's not going to bet on himself? He's going to bet on himself twice if he can. We're not encouraging betting in baseball. That's Ohtani's thing.
Also, I wanted to say I misspoke. Sandy Alcantara in that game in Wrigley, 8 1/3, 2 runs, so not a shutout. Just wanted to.
Yeah, he did come out of that.
For the record, he did come out, not a shutout. Hit me with the reality spray. I exaggerated. Yeah, there it is. From Sean in the back. Here, yeah. Give me a quick spritz, will you?
Oh wow, that was a heavy.
He just got it right in the face.
Whoa. Nailed.
We have to start wearing the ski goggles like it's a post-game celebration.
But I know I'm going to do this beer bat before we get out of here. But
you got one more.
I think the other big news thing from the weekend, Seiya Suzuki now day-to-day with, was it wrist injury? He came out of the middle of the game Saturday, and it was apparently he hurt his wrist sliding into second base during the Rangers series, and he re-aggravated it last night. Justin Turner hit third tonight in the lineup, and all I know is that, I've seen this movie before, outside of the fact that it's a wrist injury instead of an oblique, but the classic Seiya April injury. So I have PTSD triggered a little bit. They won tonight, so I'm, whatever. But are we worried about Seiya Suzuki going forward, even though Craig Counsell says day-to-day?
I mean, somewhat, right? I think I'm obviously concerned when, a guy's injured. I just don't know. Sliding into second base gets so many guys injured all the time, and that's why a lot of these guys are wearing the oven mitts now to try to protect finger injuries and hand injuries. But this could be any sort of wrist injury. I don't know if it's a sprain. He may be jammed. There's not enough details for me to say I'm concerned to a high level. I think that there's some sort. I'll be honest, I think I'm more concerned about the Carson Kelly thing, getting hit on the wrist with a baseball, for how good he's been. I mean, but Seiya's been awesome too. So both concerning. I just got to let it play out. We got to get some more information on it.
Sure.
Not sure. Luke, what do you think?
Cody? You going to do a big dedication?
I want your thoughts on Seiya Suzuki.
Yeah, I mean, Seiya concerns me. It does concern me because he's the second best hitter on the team. Yeah. Right. And that changes everything in the lineup again. That was the whole thing about getting a star a star bat to go with Seiya and some of the other guys at the top, because you got to have that extra, the extra guy. So the question becomes, if he's out for a while, do you want to showcase Alcantara? Do you want to see what Alcantara's got? Do you want to risk that if he's a guy you're thinking about trading, or is he someone that's ready to go and ready to have his moment in the big leagues in a Cubs uniform?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know. I heard Owen Casey's off to a good start too. So
yeah. For me, I see Gary's comment in there. He's like, Cubs medical staff every year doesn't tell the truth.
I do have a question.
Basically saying that it's not day to day. My big thing, and we've had this conversation plenty of times, he didn't play today. If he doesn't play tomorrow, if he doesn't play the next day, when are we going to put this guy on the injured list? Because you're wasting a spot. And you know how much that is, like, you know how annoying that is. So that's my number one thing. Like, because we know the Cubs are not going to fully give us the truth. Because whenever they put Justin Steele on the injured list and call it elbow tendonitis, and then the next day it's, oh, we're getting a second opinion for this, what we're framing as a precautionary move, and then today we're hearing, oh, he's out for the rest of the year. There's reason why a lot of us find it very hard to believe a lot of what the Cubs say when it comes to injuries to their players. So,
yeah,
I guess for me, it's more about he better be in the lineup tomorrow. And if not tomorrow, on Tuesday. And if he's not in the lineup either one of the next 2 days, then I'm going to be, 1, annoyed, and 2, worried.
Yeah, could be tater time. One more quick question about the medical stuff. And I'm not pointing fingers or guessing about anything here. I just know that if I had a question that I could ask in 6 months, the question the two-parter that I would ask Justin Steele is, you felt the thing in the 4th inning. You pitched 7 innings. Do you and your doctor think it would have made any difference had you not gone out for 6th and 7th? Like if he had stopped when he first felt it tighten up in the 4th and 5th, would it have made a difference? I don't know what a doctor would tell you. I don't know what Steele would tell you in 6 months. Totally off the record stuff, right? But like, I don't know if that had any factor in it at all. Like he obviously felt the injury, but kept pitching through it.
Yeah, and counsel did let him keep pitch through. He did tell counsel, hey, there's something there, but I feel fine. It could be the cold weather. So,
yeah.
Well, they had to talk him out of starting in this game. He thought he was still preparing to start for this game tonight. So,
yeah, you bring up a good point. I was in our Discord before I even got here last night or today, and our good friends Gary Ross was in there, and then Carlos was in there, diehards. And I mentioned when I was talking about the Steele thing with them that like there's plenty of blame that we can easily give the Cubs medical staff, but also at the same time, the player has to be upfront, has to be honest. And I'm not trying to shit on Justin Steele for playing through something that could be so serious, but
it's nobody's fault.
Yeah, like I all I'm saying is I think you can put a little bit of blame all across the board. If Justin Steele feels something and then still goes out there and pitches, like he is now out for the year, like Dansby tried to play through an injury last year and was terrible in May, right? Nico Horner tried to play through an injury. Outside of his September, he struggled. He struggled at the plate. The defense was there, right? But Nico wasn't as good as we've seen him before last year, and that's just a fact. So, all I'm saying is that there's blame that goes around on both sides. So I think that people should just need to recognize that at the very least.
Yeah, and it's a hypothetical, and it's a 20/20 hindsight type deal because Steele thought it was the same injury that he had last year.
Yeah.
Right? He thought it was tendon. He said he felt exactly like he did a year ago. Tendonitis, he missed 2 starts.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know.
All right.
That's why I'm saying 6 months is when I'd ask him.
Yeah.
We got a beer bat to get to here. Who's this going? This is for PCA, right?
This is going to PCA. All right. We're saving the best for last. PCA 2 homer night, and I hope that this is the start of a hot streak. Because if there's anything that we've learned about PCA as a hitter, is that he can be streaky. Because his August was awesome. His September was awesome. But his first half of April has been not great. But does that mean he's turning it around now? We talked about his bat speed being up this year. We're talking about the some of the hard hit rates and stuff that the nerds are talking about. That's supposed to be a improvement for his power. So I'm not asking PCA to hit 30 home runs. I'm asking him to just be an on-base machine. That's all.
I like that you're questioning the science of bat goes faster, ball goes faster. That's just pretty basic.
Yeah, I know.
That was funny, man.
But
I just hear Sean cracking up in the back.
Listen, when I saw Lance Brzezowski putting out the graphic or the information about how his bat speed was up significantly from last year and him hitting the ball harder, it's like, oh, okay, PCA is just going to hit 50 homers now. Okay.
Yeah, his bat speed was up from 70 to 75 miles an hour. That's significant. I mean, very significant.
So, anyway, also
Cody,
Tate.
Cody, wait.
What?
Michael Busch deserves at least half of this bat.
That's fair, too.
He owns his former team. He owns
That's
them.
Fair. He does own them, yep. Revenge game.
Luke, the first one went to Ethan Roberts for getting out of a key situation.
What?
He was awesome.
Like Ethan Roberts. I liked Ethan Roberts, but that's aggressive.
Thank you, Luke.
I was big braining it, okay?
Listen, I can't listen.
It was a big moment in the game. He got out of the inning, man.
We have 250 people in here, and Cody's giving shout-outs to Ethan Roberts.
I dedicated my Kool-Aid bath, Cubby bath. That was to Michael Busch.
Okay.
Fair enough.
All right.
Well, we're giving it to PCA for this one. For the series, I think Michael Busch definitely deserves it. So just give it to both of them, I guess.
Yeah, bottoms up, baby. Let's
also,
see it.
Tate in the chat said he's going to Venmo me $40 if this is a quality chug. I just want to let you know, Tate, that I saw that. I'm going to let you know. All right.
And use it for the Uber ride home.
Yeah.
No, he wants you to buy a super soaker.
Oh, yeah. He wants me to buy a super soaker with it. I'll spray Luke with it.
You're not. That is not happening.
All right, here we go. We ready?
Yeah, let's see it. I also saw a chat in there. Give it to whoever the Cubs traded to Jackson Ferris for Michael Busch. So thanks, Jackson Ferris, for giving us Michael Busch. And done.
Yeah, see,
a little bit slower.
Late at night.
11.6.
Quality chug time.
What quality chug is under 10, right?
10.25. 10.25 is a quality chug. The first one, I'm assuming this one was not.
First one was.
Put a little Michael Busch and a little Porter Hodge in that bat, maybe.
I guess Tate doesn't have to send me $40 now. So.
Yeah, whatever. Maybe.
No, Becky had the closest answer with 10.5.
Way to go, Becky.
I honestly, for the first one, I should have just said the Cubs bullpen because the Cubs bullpen was a big part of the success tonight. So, but I said Ethan Roberts because he's entered my circle of trust.
One earned run given up by the Cubs bullpen in this series against the league's best lineup. Cubs still lead the league in hits and walks and steals. They're top 5 in home runs. Oh, yeah, they lead the National League Central, too, after taking 2 out of 3 in Los Angeles against the World Series champion Dodgers. It's off to San Diego. Cubs will take on Dylan Cease in that first one. You guys will be back with a postgame show with that one tomorrow. I'll be back with you guys here on Wednesday. Luke, thanks for popping in on this one.
Yeah.
Go enjoy this one, guys. I know that. What's that?
Thanks for helping out and filling in for me.
Before we go, we got our Call Your Cub for who's our Call Your Cub for the weekend?
Well, we didn't do it. We didn't pick one for the series, and we still have to go back and find out what we did last series with Kevin because it was real close. Like they had a lot of guys that we need to add some things up.
Okay. Player for the next series, for the Padres series.
Next series against the Padres. Who did well against the Padres last
Give me Michael Busch.
Yeah, he wants the guy who's red hot. I think I took PCA recently. I'm taking Kyle Tucker finally.
Fine.
You did take PCA and it revived his season. He had 2 home runs today.
Yeah.
Look at that.
You know what? I'll take
Actually,
PCA.
no. Give me Matt Shaw. He's due. Let's go.
Shaw.
Oh, you're going to take Shaw? Then I'm taking Tucker.
Yeah, that's an easy one. Thanks for checking out the CHGO Cubs podcast today. Cubs win 4-2. What a weekend in Los Angeles. Look forward to the postgame show tomorrow against the opening set with the San Diego Padres. Thanks again, guys, for having me. I'll be back with you guys on Wednesday. Fly that W.
We all silly like the mayor.